Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and today I've got a bit of an unboxing. If you recall in my previous video where I opened up this Wiha 7-piece stubby bit set, the one that has the Torx bits, we realized right away that the magnet was missing from the driver handle, which means the bits would just fall right out, which isn't a good thing. Contacted Wiha's customer service. They were stellar, super fast. Anyway, this just arrived. My guess is because this isn't very big, given the size, that there might be something else in here. So let's open it up and see what we got. For today's opening, what I'm going to use is a Gerber LMF. This is a USA-made Gerber, not the greatest steel in the world, but good enough. These are serialized. It's a kind of a nice touch. A little blocky of a handle, but good solid blade. It does meet the standards, I believe, for one of the kind of cockpit survival knives. Anyway, so let's open this. Spin it around here. And then cut across the top. Just loosening it so I don't cut into whatever's in here. Alright, so what do we have? Looks like we've got some air packaging. Oh wow, look at that. So we have got a Wiha hat. This looks fun. Wiha trucker hat. Never have enough hats. Alright, looks like a nicely made one. Cool. Flex Fit Tech. Gotta play with that. Thank you, Wiha. Wow. A Wiha can opener, or bottle opener. Outstanding. I'm impressed. This is nice. Let me get the scissors and open this. Again, one of my favorites here. Excellent. Might just displace my Yeti. This is good. I love it. And looks like we got some Wiha coasters. Put those to good use, and some stickers. So looks like we're on the Wiha train. Here is a nice letter. It says all's good. And of course this. So let's take a look at it. Let me slide this out of the way and crank it open. Interesting difference here. This one has Torx in the title. If you look at these two, this one says Torx, this one doesn't, but then they both say Torx on the side, so slightly different packaging. 38045, 38045, so the numbers are lining up. I can see right away there's a magnet in here, so no problem there. Can quickly test that. Look at that. Excellent. We're on our way. Looks good. So let's pop open the back. Here's the Torx bits. What I'd like to do is give it a test. I actually discovered a great use for these. It was a situation where I had to kind of reach way down. I wasn't confined in space, but I actually had to reach way down and kind of hold the screwdriver at a really strange angle. And I ended up grabbing a stubby and discovered that I didn't need a stubby because of space, but the stubby actually allowed me to operate it at a funny angle in my hand, even though I was using a fairly large-sized driver bit on it. So I need to expand my stubby use. So to take this for a test run, what I've decided to do is put a couple of screws into this wood to feel how it works, and the long ones, if I do them by hand. I don't know if you remember when we used to put screws in by hand, but it would take a while and your wrist would get sore. And that's when you really notice a lot of difference between the different bit handles. So the first one I'm going to put in is this. I think this is a T25. So it's going to give me an idea of what the, I think that's a T25 here. T20. One more up. Torx always seems to be one larger than it looks. So here's my T25. I'll double check. Yep, that's perfect. I'm going to put this back in so I get the full experience on the back of the stubby. So here we go. And one of the things that I like about stubbies is the ability to get the force directly in line with the screw. When you're using a larger handle, sometimes it's easy to flip the screw out to the side. And with the stubbies, you're actually able to use, I don't know if it's kind of an isometric force with the muscles to keep everything aligned. Once you move further away, you've got a larger lever arm and arc. So anyway, just driving it right in. One thing I'm noticing, the grip is quite good, this rubbery grip, especially compared to something slick like this Snap-on, or something unbelievably slick like this, this particular Snap-on. And then I'm using kind of my finger on it as an index down here. Obviously stubbies don't have a lot going on since they're stubby, but this one does flow across. If I make small turns, I'm not running into corners like I am on the Snap-ons. This palm base is actually just fine. Some like this, the Klein, where it's a lot flatter and harsher, you definitely notice that. On this Vera, it's a little narrower. You do feel that, but it's just kind of a subtle difference, so that works good. Let me back it out. Two-hand it. This is a little slippery down there when I do the two-hand, which is why sometimes, you know, having a ratchet can make a difference, which of course is an option. Good. And back in. Nice. So the bit's holding very well machined. If I switch that over to a Phillips and try it with this deck screw, good. Just squeezing back and forth. I'm going to compare that head to head with this Vera. The Vera is noticeably smaller. And, you know, I've got fairly large hands, so even the Snap-on can just disappear into my hand. But as I operate both, this one feels, as much as I love the grip on it, I do now feel the hard plastic much more than on the Wiha. Wiha, believe it or not, has a nice way to lay the finger around it like that. This one, I don't necessarily need to do that because I seem to be able to hold it with the palm a little bit more. Whereas the smaller profile here, I need to snug it up a little tighter. Probably just a preference, not a big deal. Compared to the Milwaukee, I run my finger through here just to kind of help index it. But this is like grabbing a block. It just doesn't feel that good. It feels like an industrial tool. The Snap-on, you know, is definitely longer. Again, like I said, I wish they had a shorter Definitely lighter, even though this felt heavy initially with the bits in it. This thing really is a lot heavier. I'm not sure that's quite a stubby screwdriver anymore. It is to a point, but I'm actually using it much like a longer screwdriver. So it's sort of on its own, in its own category. What about this? Enough of that. I don't like that. Although I did find one time, again, when like I was saying, a really funny angle, I could actually hang on to it. But that has happened a total of once. Using a little bit of dexterity, 2 fingers, good. This is darn near impossible to use with 2 fingers, no matter what. You kind of have to lock on your fingers like a wrench. Oh well, find it someday. And then the Klein. You really notice this sharper edge, this corner, even though it's rubberized. You do feel that because your palm intersects it right there versus kind of rolling around, so you get a greater weight distribution around the edge. And remember, this was the shortest one, and talk about disappearing into my hand. I'm literally holding on to it in order to get the palm position correct for the anatomy of both turning and pushing. I literally have my fingers up at the tip. That's where they fall. In fact, I can hold, they can touch the wood. And I don't have to do that with the Wiha, even though they're very similar in length. You can see that. So there's definitely, I guess it's this part right here really works. Notice that this area, if I'm putting my finger right in here, there's a kind of a ledge or a spot for it to land, whereas here, well, at that same spot, I'm out in space, which is why my fingers are naturally rolling up to the very tip. So this might be better for, maybe working inside a computer or something, where you really want to be grabbing literally where the tip is for control, but you're not going to be doing a whole lot beyond that without dropping your fingers all the way down. And then this one, nice. Like it. A lot of people have suggested Wiha. Fits well in the hand. Look at that. Just the way it rolls in there. Like it was made for a hand. This bit storage, I'll have to see how that works in the long term. This one definitely comes off a lot easier than this one. This one's in there pretty tight. I don't want to launch it anywhere. But I was a little bit worried at first if that was going to be a hassle, but this one pops right out. As far as using longer bits and bit drivers, let's try that out. If I throw this Milwaukee shaft in there, changes the game a little bit. Works, feels fine. If I throw a little bit longer bit driver in there and then throw a bit in, what do I end up with? Let's see, I'll put this Torx back in here. Seems to feel just great. I always like to have the option, if I've got just something small, to be able to turn it into something long if I need to. And then last thing is looking kind of close at the quality of the bits. By the way, this retention seems good, very strong. I don't have my tester out yet, but let's see. So we've got the branded, Wiha branded, marked T25. Let's see what else we got here. Same thing here with my T20, my T30. They're all stamped Wiha here, Wiha there, and there with the T10 and the 15. Good. Look like good solid bits. Lightweight holder. Still no bit fits in there, but that's designed to attach to the I assume this triangle, which helps keep it on, but it'd be nice to have just if you wanted a little spinner there. Nice and light. Obviously with no bits in it, it's almost a little bit different in terms of how it feels, but overall, great. So this is a success. I like it. People who've told me to get Wiha were correct. And now I guess I'm deep into the Wiha ecosystem. So, with that, Doc out.